Hello, wonderful students, and anybody that's viewing this tutorial on YouTube, or if you are one of my computer students. A very good day to you, and welcome once again to the continuation of this PowerPoint presentation tutorial. Let me first say a very good congratulations to you for getting this far in the tutorial. In fact, this very first slide that we just created is more or less the most difficult task in the creation of this entire PowerPoint presentation. So for you to have come this far, you have done really well, and you should give yourself a pat on the back. That's if you can do it yourself anyway. Now we want to continue the tutorial, okay? And we want to go to the second slide since we have finished with the first slide, okay? And what does the second slide look like? This is what the second slide looks like. Remember, we finished the first slide, which was this one. So we want to move to the second slide, which is this one. So having created the page, more or less like the presentation cover, okay, you need to go ahead to create the slide for the introduction. It's very important. The introduction slide, it's a slide where you give an overview of what your presentation is about, okay? So that's why we are moving to this next slide, and let's just go ahead and begin. So you can see the first thing I would like us to create is this title called introduction, okay? And if you look at it carefully, you can see that it has a little effect on it, a kind of reflection effect on it. So let's just go ahead and create this introduction title. So you open the work you are currently, you know, doing, your current PowerPoint presentation that you are working on. The next thing we want to do is to create a new slide for the introduction slide, okay? And there are two ways you can, insert a new slide in your presentation. You can come to insert here and go to new slide. So you just left click on maybe the arrow and choose the kind of slide you want, okay? The kind of slide you want. Like for example, we are looking for this blank one. You see, this is one way you can, insert a new slide. So you left click on it and you can see that it has inserted a new slide. Or let me Ctrl Z to undo that. The second way you can do it is using the keyboard shortcut, which is Ctrl M. Ctrl M, M for mango, Ctrl M, and it inserts the new slide. But you can see that there's a slight difference. It doesn't give you the opportunity to choose the exact kind of slide you want. It inserts, its default slide that has these text boxes. So if I were, to advise you, the better way, although it's not the quickest way, the better way to do it is I'll press Ctrl Z and I go to the new slide, the arrow, not here, not this top one, okay, the one with arrow. Left click on it and choose the very one I'm looking for, which is blank slide. So having done this, we want to, of course, the golden rule. I don't know if I mentioned it in the first tutorial, the first video for the tutorial for the presentation cover. I don't know if I mentioned it, but let me just go ahead and mention it again. One of the golden rules of PowerPoint is for you to type in a text, you must first insert a text box. So we go to left click on text box and we just left click and drag the text box. Then we just, turn our caps lock key on the keyboard, okay, and type introduction. Just type it like this, introduction, okay. And to make it similar, if you notice now in your presentation, you must be careful with the colors you use. There must be a sense of harmony, do you understand, in the colors that you use. For example, if you see, you can see that I'm making the heading, look at the reference, you can see that I'm making the heading blue, okay. Look at this small design here, this object, it's also blue. The heading and the object matches, okay. And you can see that the heading has a different color from the body of text, the body of text, just to make it stand out, to know that okay, this is a heading and this is body of text. And take note, we are using blue, and if you look at the first page cover, okay, you see that we use some elements of blue in the design. He's wearing a blue, he's wearing a, okay, sorry, he's wearing a, the picture is wearing a blue shirt. You can see these blue elements we used here. So let there be a sense of, not how do I, what word do I use now, let there be a sense of uniformity, although it must not be exactly the same, but there should be a sense of uniformity so that it looks professional and not childish, okay. So let's go to the second slide. Sorry, I'm moving to the second slide now. Yes. And now let's see. Now this introduction, it's in Calibri and it has 54 points. That's the size. So let's just you know go with that specification. So I've typed my introduction. Now of course, in order to put any formatting effect to a text, you must first highlight it. So just make sure you get your mouse to the end of the text or to the beginning of the text, and left click and, okay, sorry, make sure it's blinking inside, please. Let it be blinking inside like this to be active inside the text box. So left click and drag to select the whole thing. Do you understand? So this is one way you can highlight a text, okay. The second way is to left click at the beginning or the end of the text, then hold down the shift key on your keyboard and press the left arrow key if you started from the end of the text. But if you started at the beginning of the text, you press the right arrow key, okay. So now, having selected it, let's now start applying our format on the text. So first things first, we change this to 54. So this is 54. Second thing, yes, it was Calibri. Second thing we need to do now, the next thing we need to do is let me go to styles first, because there are two ways we can do this stuff. There are two ways we can do it, okay. um okay, no, okay, let me just do it the first way. After you highlight it, don't bother about this, just go to this one that says font color, left click on the arrow and just choose a blue color, okay, to change the color to blue, okay. You can, to change the color to blue. Now the next thing we want to do is to add that reflection effect, okay. Now go to, make sure you are still active on the text box and it's highlighted. Now go to format, okay, then you see this one that says text effects, okay. Left click on it and choose reflection. When you go to reflection. You don't need to left click on reflection. This part will show. All you need to do is just choose the one you see that you prefer. For example, I don't want the reflection to be too much. I just want it to be, slight. If you choose the second one to be like halfway, if you choose the third one to be like the full reflection. So I just want it to be slight, okay? So I want to choose this first one, so left click on it, okay? Then you can click outside, click on an empty space so that you see what you've just done. You can see the beautiful effect that we've just created. Cool, okay? Now you could, if this is not exactly centered, you could left click on the text box, okay? Left click. Now currently, see how it is blinking inside. It means we are active inside the text box. But if you want to be active on the text box, we have to left click on an edge. When this cross thing shows, left click on the edge, and you see that it's no more blinking inside. As it is now, we can now, drag it and move it and position it to a center point as we want, like this, okay? Now the next thing we want to do, if we look at the reference, is we want to add this shape effect here. If you notice in all the slides, okay, they have this effect. It's just to brand it, okay? It's just to brand your design, okay, to tell you that it's from Prime Graphics, or is the like the logo of the company, something like that. You get? It's just to add an extra touch. So we want to create this now. So let's go to our work now, and the shape we are going to use is, we are going to insert menu first. Go to insert menu because we want to insert a shape. After you go to insert, go to shapes, then go and choose this particular one, right triangle. This one that says right triangle, okay? Right triangle, left click on it, then just drag. Now you can see that it's the opposite way now, okay? But relax, just drag it. Then upon dragging it, we can flip it, okay? Remember how we flipped, there was a time we flipped that image. Remember how we flipped it that time, the image? I think we can do something to this one. Let's flip it, yes, vertical, okay? You can see where I went to rotate and I went to flip vertical. Look at what it did, okay? So left click on that and it flips it vertically, okay? So you can just, I think it's okay like this. You can just adjust it. Now when you are adjusting, make sure this arrow thing, take note, not the cross thing, the arrow one. When you go to one of the nodes, in case you want to adjust your in case you want to adjust your node, okay, just go to the node. I mean, if you want to adjust your shape, just go to the node, okay, left click and drag it up or down. Once the arrow thing shows, it will enable you to, reshape it. So having done this, the next thing we want to do is we want to give it a shadow, a kind of shadow effect. Although it's optional, but it will just add an extra touch to it. So left click on the shape, go to shape effects, okay, then let's use shadow. Let's give it this shadow, this one, the one that is the one that the shadow is bending to the right, to the lower right. So I left click on it. You can see the shadow effect it has given to it, okay? Then the next thing I want to do is I want to put my logo, okay, the logo of the company on top here. So of course you should know how to insert a picture by now. So you go to insert, go to pictures. Now go to your product demand folder. You know where it is located, okay? Mine is located in the desktop, okay? So just go to the folder where all your pictures are, product demand and sales analysis, double click inside, then go and look for the logo. Yes, that's the logo there, and double click, okay? It will insert the logo. Then you just move it a bit. Now let me show you a wise way to adjust any picture that you insert. You know, some people, the way they adjust their picture is they will go to this middle node, okay, bend it like this, go to this node, bend it like this, go to this place, keep adjusting it like this and like this until the thing becomes smaller. You see, they keep adjusting it. Now this is okay, but it may kind of disproportionate your logo if you don't really know how to do it well. So let me undo this, let me undo everything I've done. If you want to readjust it while keeping the same proportion, you just do the diagonal one. Go to this diagonal side, either here or here or here or here. So just go to the diagonal one and reduce it. You see that to keep the shape how it was, but to just be reducing it, okay. So just reduce it. Oh, that was an error. So let me redo that again. Just reduce it like that. You can reduce it a bit more and then just move it and position it here. Yep, 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 we are doing it, we are doing it. Okay, so let's continue. Now the next thing we want to do is, of course, insert the picture, okay, and this picture is the products, okay, that will be reviewed in this um presentation. A picture of the products that will be reviewed: Mirinda, Fanta, Pepsi, Coke and the likes. So let's do that right now. Now of course we go to insert pictures. Now you can still remember the last place I went to. You must go to that product demand and sales to locate where the picture is, then double click inside. Then like I taught you, just use the diagonal one to reduce it and just position it here, okay. So this is good, this is good. So the next thing we want to do is we want to insert the text, okay. We want to insert the text. So first things first, what I mean by insert the text, I mean this text here. So first things first, what we want to do now is we will insert a text box, okay. Just drag it wide like this, as wide as this, okay. Now we want to now begin to type in the text. So a wise thing is, when you are looking at the reference, okay, when you are looking at the reference, okay, a wise thing to do is to split your screen, okay, so that while you are looking at the reference, you can be typing your work, okay. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I will split my screen. Now in order to split your screen, okay, you hold down the Windows key, hold down the Windows key and press the right arrow key to split your current work to the right. So Windows and right arrow key to split your current work to the right, okay. Then my reference, the one I'm looking at, okay, I left click and be active on it. Then I press the Windows and right arrow key. You can see that I've split the screen. You understand? So I can now go to my one, the one I'm working on, okay. Left click inside, okay. Now let me see the size of this one, the size of the text. Okay, the size of the text was 20, so just change it to 20, okay, and it's Calibri, and just begin to type, okay. Now you guys may not have the issue because you are watching the video, so you can just simply be typing what I am typing. Wait, yeah. So I can now just start typing: in this presentation we will be analyzing the four soft drinks based on their level of demand and sales between 2017 to 2020. The soft drinks are Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Fanta and Mirinda. Deeper insights will be unfolded by comparing actual quantity of these products demanded versus the expected quantity to be demanded based on company forecast over the 4 years. Full stop. We will be using the aid of graphs, charts and tables to make this analysis. Full stop. Okay, so yeah, that's basically, we've basically typed the work. So let me maximize my screen. Okay, so yes, we've typed the work. Now one final thing we are going to do is, if you notice, to make it very neat, look at this edge here. You can see that it's bending. It's like there's something we can do to the text to make it look neater than how it's looking. Okay, it will make it very straight and justified. All we need to do is highlight the whole text. Okay, then go to, make sure you're on your home menu and choose this one that says justify. When you left click on it, look at this place now. You can see that it's now looking straight. Okay, so it gives it this neat and clean look. Okay, so yeah, so that is basically it for the second slide. Okay, um I hope you were able to implement what the steps that have been mentioned in this tutorial. It's not as long as the first one. So see you in the next one. Have a good day.